Man, this is a series. This is a game where OKC reminded everybody who the fuck they really was, man. You don't just, come out here and do this by accident. Yeah, last game they beat the Thunder by 20 points or something like that, 21 points, right? So they tied the series up. Spurs tied the series up 2-2. So going into game 5, this is a huge game for implications in the rest of the series because historically speaking, whoever wins game 5 usually takes the series. They said the Spurs will probably beat the OKC. I think that was a narrative after game 4, just because of how a dominating much of a win that game 4 was. SGA got out to a historically bad start, I believe. You see, they came out and they're really pushing the ball up the court. The Spurs came out very aggressive on the offensive end, basically having their way, getting their shots, having what they wanted. Look at that. Into the chest of Chet. So it's still 8 points right now. As you can see, like, the Spurs came out in the first quarter having a lot of rhythm, getting a lot of good looks. You'll see, like, a lot of the points and shooting really came from the Oklahoma City Thunder's team. We're seeing the first quarter is coming from OKC Thunder as a team, not really the MVP in SGA. He's losing the ball. And you can see the frustration on SGA, too. He was having a really bad first quarter. He gets it taken. You can see his shoulders, like, damn. He's not really happy with how he's playing the first quarter. And the Spurs are just having their way. Spurs had a lot of really good fluidity, a lot of good motion, a lot of good looks, a lot of good shots falling for them. And it seemed like they were playing very physical too in the first quarter. The thing about the Thunder though, the Thunder is really good at keeping it close. Even when SGA isn't playing good, you see his team is still putting shots up on the board. They're still putting points on the board. The first quarter is looking like it's going to be a good game. All right, SGA got one at the end of the first quarter. Sometimes for a player like SGA, a player who's a really good player, all they need is to see one shot go in. If they see one shot go in, then they can start getting into rhythm. So this is the end of the first quarter, right? And as you continue to watch, you're gonna see this is the difference between a Cleveland Cavaliers team and the championship team. We're gonna see them bounce back. We're gonna see them bounce back into this game. Now they're not down, you know what I'm saying, terribly, but it's a close game right now. It's a close game. They're only up by 3. And what I'm really watching for when I watch the Thunder, it's not just SGA. I'm looking for the team's energy, right? And Jalen Williams this playoff, man, he's been absolutely exceptional, shooting the lights out. And Caruso playing great defense. But the Spurs are still holding on. But again, like I said, I'm looking for the reaction of the Thunder as a team. What is their team going to do? Because SGA, he'll eventually find his rhythm. But what is the team going to do? And if you notice right now, this team is up. The Thunder is up right now against the Spurs by about 8 points at this moment. And SGA isn't even in the game. Their MVP isn't even playing, and they're beating the Spurs by 8 points right now. The Spurs isn't folding either, bro. The Spurs is playing hard. They're playing aggressive basketball. But for the Thunder, man, you can just tell as a team that was a long plane ride home, man. Now we're starting to see SGA kind of get into his bag. We're starting to see him pick up rhythm, finding his shot. Man, that's one thing about SGA, bro. SGA, he's so great is because he can always get to his shot. Even if he starts off cold, man, he going to find it. But I'm really impressed with just the team, man. The team effort. Good shot by Caruso. The team effort for the Thunder, man, kind of getting themselves back in this game and holding it down, even when SGA isn't performing well. Things like that last L really sat with them. But look at that, bro. That's a tough shot by SGA, man. All the time. He's going to go to that bump fade, right side, left side. It doesn't matter, man. That's what makes him such a special player. He's so consistent. But look at the hustle. I want you to look at the hustle from the team, right? When you have your shot get blocked, right? And you have your third guy coming for the rebound over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Spurs players. That's a lot of heart that the Thunder is showing right now going into the third quarter. And then one person in particular who played absolutely crazy this game, and you're going to start seeing even more going to the third or fourth quarter, is that man Jared McCain. Jared McCain, he had a playoff high of 20 points last night. When your guy coming off the court giving you 20 points, man, it's hard to lose. But the Spurs still balling, bro. They still playing. But as you can see, man, right? So it's always going to be in playoff basketball, right? There's that one quarter, one team is pulls away from another team. Sometimes that's just how these playoffs go. And right here, you'll see in this mid third quarter, early fourth quarter, you'll really see the game shift. You start to see the game really take a turn here. Right now, you see the Thunder on a 9-0 run in the last minute 20 seconds. And mind you, this is a whole Thunder effort. This is not just SGA, this is a whole team effort. Now remember, the Spurs blew them out last game. You know what I'm saying? And people automatically immediately started to question, is the Spurs too much for them? Is the alien too much for the Thunder to handle? So they came into this game with all that energy in the air. And this is really the difference between real depth and pretend depth. When you're playing the Oklahoma City Thunder, you're not playing 1 through 5. You're not playing 1 through 7. You're playing 1 through 15. This is a real team. When you have guys like Jared McCain coming in the game and doing what he's doing, that shit matters. And after that last blowout game in game 4, you don't flip the script without guys like that. And I like about Shea too is that when Shea, first of all, there's two things I like about this, right? Obviously, after getting like not even 20 points in game 4 and game blown out, right? Shea could have went out here to make a statement game. But the thing about Shea is he makes the right pass, the right move to win the game for the team. It's not selfish. He drives. Now, he could have went there, right? He could have went past this off the pick and try to split the defender and hit that shot because he's capable of hitting that shot, right? But he makes the right play and kicks it to Jerry McCain, who's been a swing guy in these playoffs. It's not just like a random hot night. This is a pattern for Jerry McCain. He shows up in those moments. Even on Philadelphia in his first year before he got injured, he showed up in those moments when the whole team was injured. Yeah. And now we're starting to see the Spurs tightening up a little bit. They're still playing hard. The alien is still doing alien things, right? But if you look at the team, like Steven Castle, these other guys, man, you can tell they look a little bit defeated. They look a little bit tired. They're starting to tighten up. But Wemby's still playing, man. But even guys like Caruso, man, again, SGA making the right play, getting his team involved because he has teammates that he can trust to hit that shot. Spurs, they still fighting back. I think the Spurs are rallying behind their boy Wemby. They fought back to get it to 10. Again, I'm going to speak on depth. Even Isaiah Hartenstein, right? His role is not to score points. His role is to get boards. He has 9 boards that game. Great shot. That's his patented shot right there. A little jump hook from the foul line. Great way not to foul. And you're already starting to see him kind of get chippy, but this started getting to be a physical game, right? This is a physical game. Now I know it looks like he just landed, but he was talking shit to Caruso, bro. This game started to get real physical. One thing I heard was called out was, yes, they have Wemby, right? They have Wemby, but I'm looking at this court right now, and I see like 1, 2, 3, 4 guards, really. Maybe a small forward. They don't really have a power forward on the Spurs team. And it seems like that's being exposed because by Wemby having to go out here and guard Jared McCain because he's doing Jared McCain things, it becomes to be a mismatch down here for someone like Hartenstein against Harper. But man, Jared McCain was exceptional tonight or last night. And at this point, they're still fighting back. But this was a dagger 3 right here for Caruso. And he's been doing it all series long. And this game is getting real physical. And you'll notice that from a play that happens in the fourth quarter a little bit later. Once Wemby gets checked out the game, you'll see the frustration. You can see the frustration on those Spurs players, man. Jared McCain really took it out of them. You can see Castle, Champagnie, Harper, you feel me? And Jared McCain is probably one of the most annoying players to get hot, too, because he's going to start dancing and stuff, like split the defense. So now you're starting to see the frustration really kick in. I think because the Spurs felt they didn't get a lot of foul calls that on the offensive end, the way that Thunder was getting calls on the offensive end. So you're going to start to see a lot of physicality, you know what I'm saying? Wemby shows his emotion. You're going to see a lot of physicality, man. Wemby over here whispering into the ears. Allegedly, I can't confirm this, allegedly, they said that Wemby was whispering into the ears, basically laying him out. That's what they said. That's what they were saying. I don't know how true that is, but lay him out. You can tell he's pissed, bro. Wemby is pissed. He does not like this. And that's one of the things that we like about Wemby. We like about the emotion that he shows when he goes into the game, the emotion that he plays the game with. So we see Wemby's talking to him like, yo, bro, lay him out, ready? He's telling him that, right? And then watch what happens this next play. Wemby pissed. McCain's still in the game, right? Ooh, that was intentional, bro. That was an intentional foul. That's a little OD, man. This is really ridiculous. Now people have been sharing this clip over and over again, saying that Wemby told Plumlee to do this. Let's see if it looks intentional. Yeah, that looks intentional. That was definitely intentional. If Draymond was on the court and that happened to Steph Curry, he would have been in a headlock. He would have been in the headlock, no cap. Dort, you might need to take him out, Dort. Dort, that's your job in this team, bro. You might need to like, force him. Oklahoma City Thunder, as a team, made a statement. Series was tied 2-2. This was a statement kind of game. This was a very important game for the implications of the whole entire series. You had SGA, you had the Oklahoma City Thunder coming off of a humiliating, brutal loss in Game 4. And yes, people having questions, and in a way, I feel like people were already kind of counting the Thunder off because of the kind of loss it was in Game 4. And then you had SGA starting this game with a very rough start to the quarter and to the game. But the thing that we love about SGA is he's always calm. He's always even keel. He doesn't panic. He settles in and he gets to his spots. He makes the right plays. He makes the right reads. That team's energy as a whole, they never look scared. Instead, they rally together to make a real difference and help cover for players when they're not playing their best game. We have Jared McCain, who's been having an exceptional playoff run. This is honestly not a surprise to me because we saw what he did in Philly his first year before he got injured, at least when all the people in Philadelphia were injured. We saw what Jared McCain has the ability and potential to do. And for Jared McCain to come off the bench and give this Thunder team what it needs when they need it has been exceptional. And it's not just a lucky night. This has been a pattern for Jared McCain. Playoff high of 20 points. And as for the Spurs, this is the tax that you pay when you're ahead of schedule. They are very much ahead of schedule. We've said that consistently, but this is the things that you got to go through. OKC went through it. The Warriors went through it. Everybody goes through these things, these growing pains. And I think this series has just been coming down to inexperience. And if OKC finishes this series and wins the series, I think Game 5 is going to be one of the games that we look back and say, this was a turning point in the series. So y'all let me know after watching this video, do you think the Spurs can finish the Thunder in 7 games? Or do you think the Thunder got it wrapped? Let me know in the comments what you think. Also, where does this win rank for you in terms of statement games for this young Thunder squad or bounce back games?